Let's do a weekly analysis together. Put way too much lip on. I got my coffee. I had my coffee, so I can log in and do this weekly analysis. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with actually opening up my notebook because it gives me a good guide, I guess you could say, on what I should be looking for. So we'll go week ending 19th because tomorrow will be the 19th. Sorry. Village. Pre-weekly analysis. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the week of 19th, 10th, 25. Okay, the highest time frame bias is bullish. I don't even need to check the charts. By the way, we are analyzing gold. I only trade gold so far. I'm looking at bringing in some new instruments in about a month and a half's time. So probably by the end of November is when I will be trading another instrument. But I'm looking at potentially, depending on how everything goes, looking at deciding which one midway through November, because that way I'll get some time to back test it, get used to the instrument before I start live trading it. But I know that the high time frame buys for gold is bullish. The key areas of interest, okay, we'll go through all of that. Okay, let's have a look at the charts first. I'm not going to mess up this analysis because this is my daily analysis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to my weekly analysis template. I literally upgraded to TradingView Premium specifically so I could have all of these. I actually don't need this anymore, so I don't know how to get rid of it, but let's go to the weekly analysis. So we have obviously this high time frame, big level of dynamic support. I'll zoom out for you guys so you can get a sense of gold goes up. It definitely goes up. Obviously you get periods like this where it's going down, but most, all in all, it goes up. So today, recently it's been just pushing, and it's pushed past psychological levels. It's increased like crazy, especially just because of the condition of the world right now. So nothing really changes so far here. What I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to, let's move around these trend lines because I feel like, I don't know if I need to move them around, to be honest. But when I say trend lines, I mean dynamic support lines because that's pretty much what I use them for. I don't trade trend lines. I don't trade a trend line strategy, but it helps me with the weekly analysis and knowing where price is headed. And when we get sell-offs like we've recently had, at least I know, okay, where is price selling to? Probably this level of buyers, this dynamic level of support, which is a dynamic level of buyers that are sitting in the market. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at so far. I feel like price could be headed towards this level and then pushing back up. Just because the sell-off was kind of unexpected. There wasn't really much, when you look at the technical analysis you can see it, but when it comes to the way the world is right now, with the US shutdown, with the wars that are happening, with just not having access to any of the US data, and the way the US data was left before the US shutdown, we got pretty bad employment rates. Everything was looking not the best. Inflation was high. The feds were talking about cutting rates, which meant that gold was going to go up even more. It just basically reflects that the US dollar is weakening. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's the right terminology to use, but yeah, that's basically what was happening. So it doesn't really make sense for there to be a massive sell-off. I'm not expecting to see anything like this. Because it just doesn't make sense for the way the economy is right now. And gold, I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm actually doing a little mirror board about gold and just talking about gold because I feel like, oh my god, I feel like I talk about gold a lot and I talk about, because of this is happening in the world, because of this, because of that. But it's because gold is heavily tied to the economic position of the world, especially the US. It kind of works almost opposite to the US. So I just know that that's kind of what makes gold move the way it does, and it's always just good to keep that into consideration when it comes to my analysis, because at the end of the day it has an impact and it definitely can be the reason why price makes these moves. But I also had an article pop up on my TradingView saying that people are taking their money out of Bitcoin and putting it into gold because it's more safe. And look, I don't know if that's true or not, and maybe that's why crypto is having this big crash, but I don't know if that's true. But if it is, then gold should be going up. It shouldn't be selling off. Like, I literally got that article this morning. So everything's kind of like not really making sense why gold would be selling off, other than it be rebalancing to this dynamic support level to continue to go up. So to continue to make higher lows in the market. So I don't want to sell until price gets below here. And that's simply because I want to take high probability. Oh my god. Because I want to take high probability setups, and I don't want to be taking setups for no reason. And if I can't like sit here and be like, oh yes, gold is selling because of X, Y, and Z, then I don't really want to take it, because it just doesn't make any sense, especially when all of my analysis when it comes to buys also aligns with the economical state of the world. Do you get me? So yeah, let's have another little look. What I use is, which I learned from Tori Trades, she uses the ray tool when drawing her trend lines. You can still draw normal trend lines and you can add a ray at the end, but I like the way the ray works because you get to see it while you're marking it up. So we've got this swing high here. I'm looking at seeing if I can find a dynamic resistance level. And when I say that, I mean basically a level where there's sellers sitting, where people are looking to sell on their positions. So I'm just playing around right now, seeing, okay, what aligns with what's happening. So we've got this swing high here, and I'm looking at the individual wick swings. So I don't know if I can draw it on the chart. I don't know if price will let me do that. No? Damn, I wish it would. That would be really cool. No? Okay. I guess I'll just draw it out like this. So this is basically what I mean when I say... Oh, I just switched the charts. Hold on, will it let me go back? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we got this box. I was just trying to copy and paste. Goddamn. Okay. Oh. Okay, this is what because I learned this from Wicksource Row when it comes to marking out your swing highs. This is what I mean. I'm not going to do the bottom wicks, but... Oh, this is so tedious. Okay, this is what I mean. So we can see that the bottom wicks and the bottom ones are shorter than the top ones. So that would be like your obvious swing high that you'd use to mark out. Now I've got to delete all of this. I don't know if there's an easier way for me to delete. Because you know how you can like shift and select things sometimes? I don't know. Can you do that? No, you can't. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I was looking for a dynamic resistance level using the swing highs, but it doesn't look like price really is connecting anywhere, because what is that? That is technically a swing high. Okay, we could use this level. Zooming in, it is a swing high. You can see that this high, even though it is a purple candle, you can see that it's still a swing high when in terms of the candle wicks. Let's zoom a little bit more so we can definitely confirm that. Whoa, where are we? Okay, yeah, it is a swing high. So we could use that level, and look, we've got a 3 touch point trend line. So that's interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this super transparent because it's not like crazy important. I'm actually going to make this one more transparent because I feel like that's better on the eyes. This one's got to be a little bit more transparent because this one's the most recent level, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Okay, there we go. So we've got this dynamic resistance level, so maybe price is starting to reject off of this level, so this is where sellers are sitting. So what does that tell us? It tells us that there's more of a steeper incline when it comes to where people are selling, so people are waiting for price to enter a way higher position to sell. Because if price was still if it was still trading through this range where price was, hitting here, you can see that the levels where the sellers are choosing to sell off their positions is a lot lower than where price, if price were to continue on here. So because I guess gold is pushing up so much, sellers are thinking that they can get more out of their position and choosing to sell later on. And obviously when I'm talking about selling, we're talking about the dynamic lines. So that line is where people are choosing to sell. That price level, obviously it's not, obviously this is lower. I don't know if that's making sense, but okay, so maybe we're looking at a higher dynamic resistance level. What is the, can I measure? No, okay. I forgot how you can measure the angle. Don't know if you can measure it here. Forgot. Because there's something where you can measure the angle where something is sitting at, but that's fine. I think this should be around about 45 degrees. I know if it's anything steeper than 45 degrees, then it won't remain that way, basically. So I think that's less than 45 degrees. I hope so. If not, that's what price is showing me right now. So it is what it is. So hopefully this forms a swing high and it ends up forming a higher low. And then we know that that's the new resistance level. And then when we're talking about the newer support level, we've got multiple touch points here. So this one's definitely a strong one. I'm going to keep these ones darker because obviously we're bullish at the moment. So these levels are what's most important. This is just to give us an idea of where price is going to sell off, and we're feeling a little bit like when price is looking a little bit unexpected, like when it comes to selling off, we can look for these levels to give us a narrative. Okay, why is price selling off here? Oh, because we've got this dynamic level of sellers where sellers are seeing that they can get more out of their position, so they're seeing that they can sell it when it's higher up. So obviously gold is pushing, it's on a bull run at the moment, so we can see that sellers are probably thinking in their head like, okay, I can hold on to my position for a little bit longer, I can get more out of my position, rather than taking it out on this more gradual line where, like, this more gradual resistance line where sellers are sitting. They now know that, oh, okay, I can get more out of my position, I can get the position to go higher, and we can see that we can see that kind of started to happen here, but there wasn't really much of a sell-off. But here there's been a sell-off, and here there's been a sell-off. So yeah, and I know that I was listening to Sky's video, and he was saying that the reason why he doesn't like trading gold right now is because it's on a bull run. So there's investors that aren't banks, because obviously banks and hedge funds are more predictable, but there's now just investors that are investing into big positions who are just randomly taking out their position for no reason. So that's one of the reasons why he doesn't like trading at the moment. So I guess that kind of ties into this analysis that we're looking at right now. And then, yeah, we've got this support line. So I guess if we want to make a new dynamic support level, it kind of sucks because it's only started to sell off on the Friday. So it makes it a little bit harder for us to draw one up. But I guess we could use this. This is obviously the touch point that we want to be using. I guess, yeah, we could put it here. I don't really love it because it's so steep, but it is what it is. It's what price is showing us, so we've just got to take it and run with it. But yeah, we can see that there's obviously 2 touch points at this level. So we got 1, 2, we got 3 touch points on this trend line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert when price is crossing it. Make sure that my alert's still on here. So when price is crossing, we got an alert. Let's have an alert on this new level when price is crossing. And this is just basically price is going to tell me like, okay, price is crossing XYZ level. And that way I can have a look. As you can see, this trend line actually narrows down. So I'm pretty sure when lines narrow down like that, like how you got like your pennant flags and stuff like that. I'm not fully in all of that. Like I cannot tell you chart patterns off the top of my head, but I do know that price tends to break out of the areas, so we'll either break to the upside or to the downside. Now I can't see price breaking up here because what is it going to do? Form this super steep thing and then just break horizontally? It just it doesn't really make sense. So it makes sense for price to more like rebalance and then continue up. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's making any sense. And I mean, that thing that I just drew up, like, that was just ugly. It was ugly. Okay, anyway, so it's saved. Let's go back to the notebook. Key levels and areas of interest is that dynamic resistance level, that new one that we just put in. So this level here, that's what's of interest because I want to know, is price going to break this level? like literally going like vertically up and breaking that level, or is it going to trade below this level? Because like what is it going to do, like realistically? Like that is literally going vertically. Maybe I'm just being dramatic, but is price going to break past this level, or is it going to break below this dynamic support level? So that the newest dynamic support level, it kind of looks like a laser show on my chart. It's like very much everywhere right now, but we can see that the trend is getting steeper here. So I'm not getting rid of anything because everything matters. This is the very, very original dynamic support line. I guess what we could do is we could fade this one out a little bit because it's not as necessary anymore. Because price has not rebalanced this level in so long, and there's more touch points on the other trend line that's a little bit more closer, so this one. So what I want is the other dynamic and other dynamic support, and I want to know if price sells off to the upcoming events. Let's have a look. So we have nothing on Monday, nothing on Tuesday. I'm looking at red folders only. Nothing on Wednesday. Oh damn, there is literally nothing. Are you serious? Am I just being blind because of the time zone difference? Am I not seeing something? No. Friday. Okay, Friday's where we're seeing this stuff happen. We got CPI, PMI. That's it. So we've got CPI and PMI. No, PPI. What am I saying? That was PPI, right? No, that was CPI. What is Consumer Price Index? Did I get that right? Did I get it right? Yes, I did. Okay. I love that. PMI, Price Measuring Index. Price Measuring Index. Producer Price Measuring Index. Purchasing Managers Index. Okay. Is that the same for this one? Purchasing Managers. Got to remember that for next week. Let's hope I remember that. There's not really any need to remember it, but I just want to remember it. Manager Index. Producers Managers Index. Okay. So you got CPI was right and PMI, and the market conditions I expect a little bit of volatility as price sells off, and then rebalancing to the bullish trend. That's what I'm predicting. Oh, that's what I expect. But again, I'm just gonna let price show me what it wants to do, and a little bit of choppiness on the reversal. That's what I'm expecting. This video is really long, but I'm just doing a full analysis because that kind of took me off guard, like that different that sell-off that we had. It took me off guard. Otherwise I would have been able to just keep my original weekly analysis that I had before. Okay, what setups am I focusing on? Buys still until price breaks the last week's dynamic support. And I'm not talking about the recent one that I drew up. I'm talking about that other dark pink one, this one here. I'm bullish until price breaks this. And I say that because I don't want to be taking sells here and then for price to rebalance to here and then just buy back up. Doesn't make sense. The high time frame is bullish, and the economics is showing that it's bullish. Unless it breaks below here and we get full bearish structure on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and the trend is existing, I'm not taking any sells. And that's just me personally, and that might mean that I miss out on some trades, but I would just prefer have more conviction in the trend and position myself right. That's what Sky talks about in his most recent video. I'd rather have a better position or a better positioning than to just capitalize on whatever I can. Like, I could go onto the chart and capitalize on some randomness. I can start bringing up my ICT knowledge and being like, oh, for value gap, oh, market structure shift, oh, break a structure. But I want to just stick to what I can see and stick to everything that Sky is saying when it comes to like getting the high time frame trend, turning your day trade into a swing trade. Like, I'm just trying to really stick with that and not be greedy and try and force things and form all these bad habits. So that's why I'm not taking sells, because it doesn't make sense on the high time frame trend level, personally. Now if price were to break below here and break below this low, then I'm all for sells. I'm all for it because the high time frame is showing me that. Setups am I avoiding? Sells because of the high time frame trend. What would invalidate my bias? If price broke below the dynamic support from last week and breaks the daily swing low, which is one that I just showed you guys. How I manage my risk: 1 trade a day, trading 1% risk. As always, I'm not raising up my risk yet. How do I want to show up as a trader? Disciplined. My discipline is good. I'll give myself that. I'm not beating myself up, but I want to be more disciplined. The more the merrier. But like when I say that, I mean like with my daily routines, because I've definitely struggled with that. You guys can watch my weekly recap to see how bad I am with my daily routine, which is back testing 1 session to back testing 1 month a day and doing like 1 video of sit down deep research. That's what I'm struggling in the most. And the biggest, give me 1 second, guys. Let me just answer this message. Okay, biggest psychological challenge I want to work on: not forcing trades. 1 trade a day. I don't even need to read that. I know what I need to not do, because this is the 1 rule that I broke previously, and it's messed up my entire P&L. It's messed it up so much. I was green on the month, but it messed it up so much, and I was only green by $7. Full transparency here. I was green by $7. I lost $50 that day, and I'm only supposed to be losing $20 to $25 max every single day, because I'm only taking 1 trade a day. I took 2 trades. I doubled down on a losing trade. I doubled down on a sell at all-time highs, because that's what structure was telling me, and this is why I'm so against taking sales right now, because the economics is showing bullish, the data is showing bullish, like common sense of knowing that gold is a safe haven is all showing bullish, and the high time frame trend is showing bullish. Even if price breaks the trend for 1 second doesn't mean I'm going to jump into sales. And I learned, because I did that on that one day, and that day is like, it's in my head, and now I'm even more disciplined and even more strategic with the moves that I do. So yeah, my main trading goal is to practice good discipline and preserve capital, but still jump in on trades that are clear and match my strategy. Yeah, there's definitely a balance when it comes to preserving capital and staying disciplined and just being too scared to get into a trade. There's definitely a balance there. My main mindset and discipline goal is just to practice and learn every day, and that is by doing my daily routine, where I'm backtesting, which is practicing, and studying, which is learning. Personal accountability goal is to journal and do my daily routine every day. That's my goal. So yeah, I'm not going to let this video ramble on for any longer. It's already 20 minutes long. It's probably like my longest video yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this weekly analysis. Make sure you guys do a weekly analysis. I promise you, doing a weekly analysis has saved me from so many losses, because I can always go back to that weekly analysis where I'm looking at, okay, why is price selling off? Like when I'm looking at the charts, and I can see that it's rebalancing to that dynamic support level, which has helped me out so much. And I'm not saying that price is just rebalancing to the dynamic support. Price can do whatever it wants to do, but I'll only be able to, reaffirm that bias that I have, like once I can see more price action. So far, it's literally just figuring out what my expectations are and seeing what price is showing me so far. But always, new price action will tell you and confirm that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you're new, I document my entire journey, literally everything, my morning analysis, my daily trade recaps, my mindset, everything I document and post on here. And yeah, so please subscribe if you'd like to follow me along that journey, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you for staying this long. So anyway, I'm still rambling too much. I will see you guys later on this week or tomorrow. Anyway, bye.